This is Vince Russo's The Brand.
Hey! Ho! Woo! Brokenstinger here. Welcome, welcome. Got a balloon. It was just floating down the road here. I know what you're thinking. Just in time for the Wayne Keller show. No, thank God, no. Yeah, got this to go along with my paint today. As you can see, I added some red. Just got back from a wrestling show, Wrestle Pro. Man, I gotta get into that for a second. There was some blood, literally. Well, yeah. It was pretty hectic. Yeah, but anyway, I got this balloon and I got new gloves. What are we gonna get into today? I'm gonna get right into what's stinging me. Yeah, let's do that. I had to use PayPal to kind of upgrade my seats. Like I said, I just came back from Wrestle Pro, and it's a little promotion here in Jersey, Rawway. I paid for third row seats about $30, and then somebody posted on Facebook, a friend, they were offering front row tickets, and I didn't see this in time, so I'm like, oh, can I get a refund? And I had to work it out with them, work it out with the promoter, and I had to go through PayPal. Of course, I kind of forgot my PayPal password, and then I find out later it's locked because I'm negative. I have a negative for, guess what? The WWE Network. I guess I was using PayPal for it at one point back in 2015, and because I hardly use PayPal. I don't really, it's safe, but I just don't get it. I don't know. So, anyway, to use it, I had to click in a password, and the thing with passwords is people say, oh, well, you just use the same password for everything. You can't do that, because some spots, they have different, different things they allow, one number, no numbers, two numbers, three letters, whatever, you get my drift. So I hate passwords, especially when I have to use my last name, Kolakowski. It just pisses me off. There's got to be something better someday that somebody comes up with, because I am just friggin' sick of passwords for iTunes, everything. This was a mistake. I kind of brought this balloon with me and painted a little red for an It Sting gimmick. We had Joker Sting and It Sting. But I'm carrying this with me, and I had to tie it to a chair. And for the show, they had, they had one of those drones actually flying around, taking different angles. And at one point, the drone went like about 15 feet right above my balloon, and the thing was going... And I'm thinking, my friggin' luck, this thing is going to somehow rip from the chair, go up, hit the drone, it's going to come crashing down, somebody's going to get hurt or killed, I don't know. It wasn't huge, but it was decent size, and I don't know if there's blades on it or something, or I'm just thinking some Final Destination shit right there. But this thing was a pain in the butt. I guess nobody cared anyway. Surprisingly, nobody wanted a picture with me today, so that's stinging me, definitely. Another thing stinging me, just came back at the end of August. I went to a little show, a big-time wrestling event. Robbie E., you were there? Oh, he was there. And Mick Foley was there, Scott Steiner. Oh, there's Scott. And I got there kind of late because it kind of takes me time to do my paint, and by the time I got there, Steiner wasn't there, and Mick was there. I kind of said hi, but I didn't get a chance to really interact with him until later. And so I'm a little bummed about that. I don't know, I would have loved to have told Scotty, great memories back in WCW towards the end there, especially when he was the champion. I wish I can cover some of those nitros. I will later in the future. And Scotty, yeah. I forget what the name of the stable he was in. The seven millionaires, not the seven dwarfs. The seven dwarfs would be Finn Balor. What's that Rudy Pooh's name? Wade Keller's not short. He's just annoying. Finn Balor. Who is that famous guy? No, the wrestler who thinks he's famous, but he's not. Oh, Alvarez. You know what? Just the two dwarfs, Alvarez and Finn Balor. Oh, Hornswoggle was at this event too, but he's cool. I don't like him, so we're not including him. I am not including anything with Wade Keller this week. I could play a clip, but I don't want to listen to an hour of John Cena needs to get my opinion, because back in the day, Vince Russo was doing it wrong. And I'm just going to sit here and babble on like a big... I'm not going to say the word. No, I'm not going to go there. He's just annoying. Melts of Magoo. There was a spot at the show I was at tonight where the female manager, I'm not going to say her name, I don't remember it, to be honest with you, got in the ring and she went in to intercept a high spot where a guy was jumping off the second rope, or I think it was the top rope, and she was blocking her friend, her boyfriend technically, but she's the manager of the stable, and she kind of turned the wrong way. He kind of turned her and she hit her. He hit her kind of awkwardly. I don't know if that happened or if her face hit. It all happened so fast. Her face hit the mat. She got up and she was like, blood was pouring out of her left nostril like a hose. And I'm like, oh shit. And she looked woozy. She didn't panic or anything though. And she just walked out and there was blood dripping everywhere. And I felt pretty bad. And there was another spot in the show where there was a hardcore match between Mr. Tommy Dreamer and another wrestler, I don't remember his name, but they did a spot where they put two chairs together, and Dreamer had the guy he flipped him off the top rope, and he went back first, right into the tops of the two chairs put together with the seats like this. His spine went right on there. And then, to top that all off, he slammed him on another chair, body slammed him, and he completely deformed the other chair. So, it was some pretty crazy shit. And then the main event, Pat Buck faced, I forget the other gentleman's name, but this is WrestlePro in Jersey. He faced him in the main event, and he gave the guy a chair shot, and the chair was wrapped in barbed wire. So, it was a crazy show, but I love WrestlePro never disappoints, and I fought hard to get front row tickets. Highly recommend you guys look them up. And as Steve Austin would say, and that's all. Excuse me. That's all I got to say about that. Nah, that was a bad Steve Austin. I got a sore throat today, though. No excuses. The Nitro I chose to review, I'm looking at it right now, the June 5th, 2000 episode. Good time for WCW. And the reason I chose this was the episode where I believe Mr. Russo claims the match between him and Ric Flair in a steel cage. This is where he got his first concussion. So I figure go back and review this. I'd like to do a bunch of Nitros. This isn't in the order I'd want to do it, but I figure let's talk about this. Vince brought up the concussion. Anyway, the June 5th, 2000 episode of Nitro starts off with a video package. Tank Abbott wants Goldberg, and he's been beating people up. He beat up Mark Madden, senseless, underwear, butt naked, kind of in the middle of the ring. Goldberg comes back. He beats the crap out of Rick Steiner, and that leads to this week where Goldberg is back with his monster truck, like I said, and Bill wants Tank. He says, "Your ass is next." And I didn't know Tank Abbott was a legit fighter at the time. I just thought, who's that guy? Who's that kind of scruffy-looking guy in the pants that Goldberg is going to kick his ass? In real life, it'd be the other way around. Tank and Bill return. Okay, yeah, got to that. Russo and Bischoff come out in the next segment with R&B security. And Vince is in, as you can see here, he's wearing his New York Yankees uniform, and Bischoff is in his black coat. Guys in black coats. What do they think? It makes them look tough? Yes, it does. Anyway, Bischoff comes out. Bischoff says he loves everyone. To a crowd of boos. And he reminds everybody this is the empire he built. Bischoff could be kind of cocky. Kevin Nash. He puts Kevin Nash in a new blood gauntlet because Kevin Nash interfered in a match the previous week. So he's going to face off against a bunch of members of New Blood. He makes Jeff Jarrett versus the Stinger. And this is for, I believe the title is on the line. No, it's not. It's a non... I remember this now. He doesn't say... Sting assumes the title's on the line, but they never make it a title match. And Russo gets back on the mic, and Vince claims... This was a shoot, I think, because he claimed he moved to Atlanta 8 months ago, and this has been the worst 8 months of his life. And he tells this to the Sea of Hornyackers. I don't know what a hornyacker is. It kind of sounds like some kind of animal in the South. Hey! Makes sense. I put 2 and 2 together there. Polish side's kicking in. And I guess that was a shoot. I don't know. Vince, if you're watching, you can answer my question if that was a shoot. You moving to Atlanta, the worst 8 months of your life. I guess I just kind of answered my question. Okay. Bischoff challenges Terry Funk to a hardcore match. He's going to try to take the hardcore title from him. And threatens to suspend Bill Goldberg. It's not business, it's just personal. Other way around, excuse me. And then Russo grabs the mic and he plays bad cop. It's kind of good cop, bad cop here, which is funny because that's the way I thought of it. And then the, what's his name, the announcer, Tony Schiavone said, good cop, bad cop. And Russo tells Goldberg, you know what, Bill? You've never messed with a New Yorker before. So spear this, baby! Goldberg comes out. Before he comes out, he yells at the monitor, what are you, nuts? Goldberg comes out, destroys the security. He kicks 2 of them in the head. He spears one, gives one a jackhammer. And next up, Stasiak and Palumbo come out and face Chronic. And whenever Chronic came out to the ring, for some reason, I just thought of 2 drifters that were kicked out of a rock band and just want to beat people up. That's what they come across as, Bryan Adams and Brian Clark. One of them wore an outfit. He didn't really look like wrestling trunks. It looked really like he was in a rock band. It was kind of like a latex shirt. But their WWE run didn't go good, but they were fun to watch in WCW. The Cat comes out and forces Billy Silverman, the ref, to fast count him, and they get counted out and lose the match. And Stasiak and Palumbo pick up the win, but after the match, I believe Bryan Adams gives Chuck Palumbo, or it might have been Stasiak, one of them, a big body slam. And then we go on to the next segment. And this is as far as I've gotten right now. I am going to wash off my paint, and I think I'll include this in this episode, but it won't be with the paint on. But I'm going to keep talking about it. Part 2 of my review of the June 12th, 2000 episode of Nitro. Really good show. We have Kidman in the back. I have written down bad acting. He's in the back talking with Tori Wilson, and he's talking about Horace, I believe, Horace Hogan, and Major Guns from MIA with the big boobs and the camo. Love it. She steps in, and she says, don't talk to her like that. And he tells her, mind your own business, you stupid bitch. She goes off. Then we get to another segment, MIA, with huge erection, general erection. Vince, if you could explain what was the thinking with that, never mind. Lecturing the Misfits. And she comes in crying. Kidman called me a stupid bitch. Kidman did what? And Booker T dressed as G.I. Bro, says, "We're gonna go out, we're gonna kick Billy Kidman's ass. You know your mission." Then we have Nash and Steiner entering the building, and the interview lady, I forget her name, asks Nash if he's aware that Mr. Bischoff made a gauntlet match for him later tonight. And Nash kind of laughs it off and says, "Was Goldberg in the building?" Is Goldberg in the building? And she says yes, and he says, "My gimmick's alive. I'm the last one in the building." Then we cut to Goldberg and Nash in the locker room, kind of shaking hands, saying they got each other's backs. We go to the next segment. G.I. Bro and MIA with General Rection comes out, and he calls out Billy Kidman saying, "Billy Kidman, we gonna show you how to treat a woman, sucker!" And Billy Kidman comes out with the filthy animals, and he tells G.I. Bro, "If it's a war you want, it's a war you're gonna get." They fight out, and Torrie Wilson betrays Billy Kidman. There's a spot in the match where they put him on the rope, and it looks like he's going to get that kick to the groin like Goldust used to do, but she's stopped. Major Guns is stopped. But then Torrie Wilson betrays him and hits him in the nuts anyway. And Kidman and the Animals, they have chairs and they beat up MIA. The next segment, we got Bischoff coming out with the Cat, and he's challenging Terry Funk for the Hardcore title. And kind of an entertaining match. The Cat's entertaining guy. He comes out with those friggin' red shoes, eye-catching, and he gives Funk a kick, but he gets the upper hand on Bischoff, and he's beating them both up. He hits Bischoff with a trash can. Bischoff has nunchucks, and he's blocking the nunchucks with the trash can, and he hits him in the head, and Bischoff's like, falls down. Then chases him to the back with the Cat. And then Miss Hancock, Torrie Wilson, what's her name? Miss Hancock. Stacy Keibler, WWE, comes out, but Miss Hancock comes out, and she starts dancing in her kind of secretary stripper look. And Kimberly comes out with Mike Awesome, and she kind of tells her, "Step out of the way, this is my show. This stripper look is so outdated." I just want to say Kimberly is, they're both hot. Obviously she's got the legs, but Kimberly's got the whole body. And it's kind of sad seeing Mike Awesome come out. But Kimberly turns her back, Miss Hancock turns her back, and Kimberly smacks her in the back with a clipboard. And as she's walking away, Kimberly gets up. Miss Hancock gets up and says, "Get your fat ass back in the ring." And Miss Hancock says it with tenacity. And then Kimberly looks back like she's looking around. Kind of bad acting, kind of good. And I have written down, Mark Madden says, "Oh, I'm offended by that. That's enough fat talk." I love the team of Madden, Schiavone, and Hudson. And then they say we're going to have a match later tonight. Sets up a intergender tag team match. And then as they go to the back, Bischoff comes back out with Funk, and Bischoff is smacked into a wheelbarrow, and Funk wheelbarrows him to the ring, and he's still beating up Bischoff pretty good. And we cut to a segment in the back where Vince sends out Vito and Johnny Bull to help him out, and they do, and they put Bischoff on top of Funk, and Bischoff's the new Hardcore champion. Then the next segment, we got Scott Steiner coming out against Vampiro. And Scott has his way for most of the match. Vampiro does some pretty good kicks. And there's a spot in the match where Medeja comes off the top rope near the end, and Steiner's down, and he catches Medeja, sorta, and he chases Medeja up the ramp. That's Scott Steiner's girlfriend. And he's carrying a canister of gasoline, because this was the angle setting up to the Sting Vampiro Human Torch match at the Great American Bash. And he stops her, steps on her, and he's putting gasoline all around her, and he's about to let her fire. Then the Stinger comes out. Love this segment, of course. Taps him with his bat. Oh. Like so. No Vampiro here, though. And nails him. And nails him all the way down to the ring. The interesting about this show and some other shows, the way they had the ramp set up, it was elevated like 5-7 feet off the floor. So they were standing. It's almost like a modeling thing where they're coming out and they're walking and they're above the people. So you don't have to. They don't need the stairs to get into the ring. The ramp literally is at the same height as the canvas in the ring. So he nails him and he bashes him all the way into the ring, and then Steiner puts Vampiro in the Steiner recliner, and Vampiro taps, and the match is over. And then Sting comes in the ring, and Russo Bischoff security comes out, and they beat the crap out of Russo Bischoff security. And Sting looked good in this segment. The next segment, I believe, Page and Hancock. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Bruce and Mike Awesome and Kimberly come out, and they're going to take on Miss Hancock and a partner of her choosing. DDP comes out. DDP's fake music hits. Another note about these Nitro episodes that ticks me off is some of the songs, particular DDP, of course Sting, and Jeff Jarrett's, I noticed, the original songs are edited out. I don't know if that's for copyright issues or whatnot, but it's kind of annoying, and I kind of picture myself listening to the songs I remember playing live, and you could kind of hear them underneath the edited versions. But so DDP's her partner, and they win the match. Paige gives Mike Awesome a diamond cutter, and I believe nothing really transpires after that.
Good. Googly moogly.
Next segment, we cut to a segment in the back where the interview lady gets word that Hulk Hogan says there's no way Hulk Hogan will face Horace tonight. Bischoff comes out with Horace later, and he's the new hardcore champion, and he's kind of rubbing it in that Hogan kind of tucked his tail between his legs. And then Hollywood Hogan's music hits, and he says, Hulk Hogan won't face you, but I didn't say a damn thing about Hollywood. And I kind of remember watching this live, that line particularly. So he comes out, and he's facing Horace in the cage. Hogan goes over, and Billy Kidman comes in towards the end, and he destroys Horace, and then he takes Kidman and he throws him over the top rope into a table. So it looks like Hogan's going in strong to the Bash of the Beach pay-per-view, or excuse me, Great American Bash. And Then we cut to actually a segment before that, Sting versus Jarrett, and the assumption is it's for the title, but more on that in a second. And Jarrett comes out, Sting comes out, and Sting towards the end gets Jarrett in a roll-up. Before I say that, I just want to say, watching back, this was Sting, my favorite way Sting looked to me, almost like a Joker outfit, kind of with the long coat, the gloves, and the paint, the way he did his paint job and the hair. To me, that was when he looked best. The WCW, I want to say mid-99 into 2000, that look, for me, was my favorite one. Trying to emulate it a little bit with the paint job and the gloves. Anyway, really cool. Do I have any other notes on Sting? Sting's paints? Yeah. Okay, Sting goes over when he gets a roll-up on Jarrett, and it's kind of a shock, like, oh my god, he pinned him! Sting's the new champion! He belts in the ring like that, and he's holding it up, and Bischoff comes out and says, oh, no. I didn't say it was for the title. So, Sting wins the match, and Sting says, well, then Mr. Jarrett's going to go to the Great American Bash in a body bag. And he starts beating up Jarrett with, I I believe, just hitting him. He's not even using his bat. And he chases him up the ramp, and he's got Jarrett's guitar, and he smacks him, and Jarrett goes off the ramp. And then we cut to him interacting with the crowd. Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Good stuff. Okay. Next segment, we go to Ric Flair, a Ric Flair promo in the back, and if you could watch this episode back, this is how you cut a promo. Because he's like, Pamela, are we in, woo, Atlanta, Georgia? Something like that. Mr. Russo, by God! You get it, you get it. Watch it back, trust me, it's a good promo. That's how you cut a promo. Then we cut to Russo, cut him coming to the ring, and he looks very stressed out, and he's on the phone. He's like, oh, David, where are you? I'm next. And they're in the cage, and actually it starts off, Russo kind of gets him down first, and he starts mocking him, and then Flair gets him in the corner, rips his shirt off, and kind of a, sorry Vince, I didn't want to see that, gives him the chops. And he has his way with him, they battle around the ring, and David Flair comes out. He was underneath the ring the whole time, which to me kind of doesn't make sense. You know, I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it, but if he's on the phone like, David, where are you? David was kind of insane, though. There's some other episodes where with him that's, I gotta find a way to record, because they were funny. But yeah, so, excuse me, where was I? So, they come out, David comes out, and Flair's beating him up, Flair's beating Russo up at the same time. There's a ladder that comes in, they go to the top of the cage, and Flair beats him up there. Now, I'm not sure if this was the match where you got concussion, Vince, but I couldn't find the spot in the match where you said it was a Russian leg sweep, so I don't know. I think you took one on top of the cage, so I'm not sure if that was it. If that's the case, my God, what a place to get a concussion, on top of a cage. But I don't think so. Russo falls off the cage when he's dangling, and Rick kicks him off. And eventually Russo gets put in the figure four by Flair. And then towards the end, all the blood comes dropping from the ceiling, and Vince is covered. Well, they're both covered. The ref gets pelted by it. The ref is temporarily stunned. And David Flair is there, and he covers up, or Russo covers up, and David Flair counts, and Mark Mann's like, Russo wins! Russo wins! And it's not the official count, though. But then the ref counts again, and then Mark Mann's like, he's 2-0! Russo wins again! I just want to say Mark Mann. Again, funny commentary. That three-team announce team is better by thousands of miles than any three-team announce team WWE puts together these days. But, yeah, so then the funny thing is, when Russo gets up, he gives the referee a little kick, and he goes over. And then next up we have Nash running the gauntlet, and Russo comes out, and he's talking trash, and he sends out one by one. Disco gets his ass kicked, I believe Juventud. Eventually they're all coming to the ring. The weird thing is, eventually Nash, the ref starts counting 1, 2, 3, and Nash isn't even covering them. Like, that part, I guess, is a special kind of gauntlet rules that weren't explained. So I thought that was kind of weird. Go figure. And Nash eventually gets outnumbered because they're all in the ring, all the New Blood guys, and then Goldberg comes out, and he spears two guys at once, and then they start cleaning house. And Bischoff comes out, and he's like, Goldberg, I warned you. You're getting suspended on Thunder. And Goldberg responds by saying, Bischoff, you suspend me, your ass is next. And that's leading up into the next Thunder, which I'm excited because apparently, finally, waiting forever, they're going to start releasing the Thunder episodes on the network. And Bischoff and Russo, Russo, by the way, is still covered in blood with no shirt on. Possibly concussed. I'm waiting on to see if this is the episode. And then Tony Schiavone's like, oh, this is leading into the bash. Oh my God, good night. Just, the passion is just off the charts. Nothing like you'd see today. And that was, that's the end of the show. I would love to do more of these. Find a way, maybe I can get a regular camera, not using my phone, to find out if I can get clips to go along with this. But yeah, that's this review of this episode. I'd love to do some more. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. Tune in to more episodes of the brand. Follow me on Twitter at Kolakowski316, hashtag the Brokenstinger. I'm on Instagram too. I guess I'll put that on my Twitter. And I'm going to get my YouTube channel up and running. Primarily right now, I just want to put stuff on Vince's channel to help him. But yeah, that's it for this week's show. I think I'm going to be reviewing the Fall Brawl episode 99 coming up next. And I'm kind of out of order here, but I'm going to try to go in order. Maybe from when Bischoff and Russo took over. But anyway, that's the show. Tune in for next week. Remember, the only thing for sure about me and my show is nothing's for sure. Woo! Have a good night.
Anything goes on the weekend freak show. Get to know all the music, kiss my pretty asshole. Anything goes. Oh boy, just kiss my fucking asshole.
Showtime, folks. Woo! Here we go. Oop. Nibbling on fast food, acting like a damn fool. All of these wrestlers are covered in oil. Yum. I'm strumming my Johnson. Don't care if it's a sin. That KOBO's really starting to boil. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. Longing for that fake wrestling news. Some people say that it's our parents to blame, but I know it's my own damn fault. Marking for Finney, I'm dreaming he's with me. Hey, there goes Sammy and he's hailing a cab. Maurice can't wrestle. Huge boobs but can't wrestle. Thank you, Roman, for being so fat. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. Searching for that fake wrestling news. Some people say that it's our parents to blame. That's not the line. It's okay, 'cause I'm awesome. Woo! Woo!
This is Vince Russo's The Brand.